Welcome back to Shenington. KZ1 is the official MSA British Senior Championship class. I'm joined alongside me by the three-time Super 1 champion in the Rotax 177 class. It's Lucas Orrock. Lucas, you're trying to win your fourth consecutive Super 1 title. It's close between yourself and Daniel Borton. You lost a few points yesterday, but this is the weather you've been waiting for, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, whenever I see the rain come down, for me, I know that usually that's the best conditions for me. It's always suited my style. And for whatever reason, I just like it, you know, I just enjoy it. But, you know, as far as the championship goes, you know, I came into the championship at the start of the year and, you know, if I'm honest, I wasn't really expecting to be in this position, you know, because it's a completely different discipline. You know, racing in the gearbox category is completely different to anything else I've ever done. So it's kind of after the GYG, when you said to me, you know, 4 titles on, you know, could be on the go here. I thought, well, yeah, it could. And then you start thinking about other things. But to be honest, my goal is always the same, and that is to just go out and do the best I can at every individual race. So, you know, here today, yesterday, we had a bit of bad luck with the tyres, but that's, you know, that's the way it goes. So today, wet, it's all different, you know. So I think we'll be quite strong in the wet conditions. You know, I've just got to stay out of trouble, do the best I can, which, you know, I think things go my way, maybe we can win here. And then, you know, the points will sort themselves out. And if it comes my way, that's fantastic. But at the end of the day, you can't drive around thinking, oh, I've got to finish here, he's got to finish here. You just got to go out and do the best you can in every single race. And if it comes my way, that's fantastic. And I'll be thrilled to take a 4th title. If not, I mean, it's still been a fantastic year for me in a class that takes a completely different driving style. It took a lot of learning. And, you know, I'm just happy to be in the position I am. You know, that's really what it comes down to for me.
These conditions have played into Lucas's hands. He loves these conditions, of course, but from your point of view, you just got to play the waiting game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all the wet races we've had so far this year, we've done pretty well in, so it kind of suits us as well. Hopefully we continue that form in the races today.
So the championship comes down to the wire once again in KZ1. And no pressure, Lucas, but nobody has ever won 4 Super 1 titles on the bounce. It's Orrock versus Borton for the championship, and they go from row 1. James Mudd and Henry Easthope just behind. Matt Dittman and Sean Slavin on row 3, with Will Van Ness jumping ship to KZ1 alongside Howell Lloyd. Well, as you can see, it's standing start for this one, and they race to the first corner, and out in front, James Mudd has grabbed the lead in the number 2. Very nicely done, away from the number 3 of Daniel Borton in second position. So Borton has got the upper hand early on the 88, who actually looks like Orrock has actually dropped back a little bit further. And as you can see, they run a little bit further down the straight towards the hairpin, and it's already caught out the 55. Sean Slavin runs wide, but manages to get it back again. Fantastic to see that this category goes a little bit further down the straight than the other classes, and that really just shows you how much speed these karts are capable of. It really opens up the taps, and Orrock, as you can see, is battling it out with Dittman for 3rd position, while Mudd and Borton run away for the moment.
These karts on a long circuit, such as Brands Hatch or Silverstone, could potentially do 125 miles an hour, 2 inches off the ground. But not quite that quick on this circuit, but still very quick nevertheless. The 2-kart James Mudd out front, Daniel Borton there in second with Lucas Orrock in behind. Now the deal here with Borton is if Borton just stays out of trouble, there's only 14 karts in the race, he's got a 19-point lead I think it is coming into this. He cannot lose the title unless he gets excluded from the race for a driving standards infringement, something like that. Or if he came in underweight even, as we see Lucas Orrock down the inside of Borton for 2nd place. Now Borton won't be unhappy with that, he can just follow Lucas around. That'll be enough for the championship. He's effectively just got to stay out of trouble and just, I mean, you could even argue he should, just so that he doesn't come in at the end of the race, get weighed and be underweight. You could argue he should do a couple of laps and just come in, because they probably, well, almost certainly they wouldn't weigh him. He'd just end up down sort of laps behind. But so long as he doesn't come in underweight, effectively he's got this championship tied up.
Is he allowed to come into the pits and have a milkshake just to add him a little bit more weight to the floor? I doubt it somehow. But Orrock is already trying to challenge Mudd for the lead on the inside. Beautifully timed. That really was beautifully executed from Orrock. But James Mudd isn't going for the championship. He wants to win the race. We've got a stationary yellow. Somebody's off at the back of the circuit on the hairpin. Couldn't quite see who that was. I think it's Dittmann who's just come through to third position on Bourton. Yes, indeed he has. And this is what we were saying. Bourton won't really mind that he's dropped back in position. That's who it was. It was the 34 of Henry Easthope. So Easthope has gone, and that's a real surprise. He's one of the top drivers in the karting scene, particularly in this championship. He's put on some very impressive drives. World Junior Champion, of course, Henry Easthope this year. So very surprising to see him disappear from the fray. Lucas Orrock out in front, doing everything he needs to do to make that impossible dream happen. 4 titles on the row. It's never been done before in Super 1.
Yeah, Henry Easthope won the World Junior Championship title last year in an absolute epic end to a race. He was 2 places behind where he needed to be on the last corner of the last lap. The 2 in front ran wide, he got up the inside and he literally won it on the line. He won the championship by a point, and if he didn't make up those 2 places in the last corner, he wouldn't have won the title. It was an amazing end to the season. Check that out on YouTube. I think they were calling it may have been KF3 last year, KF3 World Junior Karting Championship. Check that out. It was an amazing end to a race.
Well, Lucas Orrock has got a rather unlikely end to the championship to contest with. He's got to just drive away and win at a canter and pray that something happens to Bourton, but I can't really see it happening. Daniel is an old hand at this game now. He knows how to win a championship. He knows how to control himself at the wheel of a kart, even in conditions like this. If he sees a gap and it's minimal, he's not going to go for it. You don't want to risk a championship this late in the season, particularly when you know that your main rival is up the road, dominating and streaking out in front. You've just got to keep your car on the road. He won't care if he finishes 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. It's going to be good enough for the championship as long as he keeps it clean on the straight and narrow. Orrock is way out in front. 2nd is Mudd. 3rd is Dittmann. 4th is Bourton. He doesn't care. Right now, he's just out there having fun and holding on to his position. Deeper into the race, Orrock still with a massive advantage, but Dittmann has come through to 2nd place, past Mudd. Bourton is going for it though. Bourton on the inside, he thinks he can make the move, and he does. Very nicely done there. Mudd could get him on the undercut, but Bourton, he has managed to get past him cleanly now.
Very surprised at that, to be honest. I think he'd be happy sitting in 4th. The only thing that can lose him the championship is contact with another driver or exclusion from the race for a technical infringement, such as problem with the mechanicals, or alternatively if he comes in underweight, as we see Mudd up the inside and Bourton allows him to have that. Well, he is fighting back. I'm really surprised at this, to be honest with you, because it's the only way he can lose the championship if he gets involved in some sort of tangle.
So we now know that Daniel Bourton is a bit of a James Hunt. He doesn't care about, he doesn't want to finish 4th or 5th. He wants to barnstorm it. He's clearly had the sleeves rolled up in his mind. Right, I want to get as high up this race as I can. There's enough space between me and the drivers in front. If I see a gap, I'm going to go for it. I'm really surprised as well. Bourton deciding he is going to attack. Into the last lap, Lucas Orrock is absolutely flawless here. He needed to win. He's got great conditions. These suit his driving style, as he was talking about earlier. He loves conditions like this, and it's definitely going to be a perfect drive from Lucas Orrock. But to win that 4th championship in a row for Lucas Orrock, he really needs a miracle right now, and I can't really see it coming. Daniel Bourton is in 3rd position behind Dittmann, and that's going to be enough to seal the championship for Bourton, and he's done it in style. Matt Dittmann setting the fastest lap there. Very good in the conditions, 52.32, considering that the circuit, of course, has been extended compared to the other classes. So that's not a bad time in the conditions for Dittmann. That's certainly going to give him a feather in his cap coming out of this one. He may not have won the race, but he was the fastest man. But Lucas Orrock has done everything he could have done. He wins the race. But behind Matt Dittmann, it's Daniel Bourton who clinches the title.
Dan, congratulations on a fantastic season for you. 3rd in the race there, but comfortable championship win in the end.
Yeah, it's been a really great season. That was a great race to cap it off. Yeah, Lucas really quick in the wet, but overall in the championship we managed to pip him, which is good.
What's your plans for next season?
Not sure as yet whether there'll be kart racing or maybe race some cars. We'll have to see.
Matt, 2nd today. Disappointed season for you overall?
Yeah, it was disappointing. We've had lots of up and downs really, lots of problems, and just lots of bad luck really, and it's been a shame, but it's been an enjoyable season. I wasn't really going to do anything this year, so I thought I'd come out for a play, come out for have a little bit of fun. But yeah, it's been good, it's been enjoyable. I'd like to be on the top step again, but can't always win, can you?
Lucas, we thought the rain might play into your hands, which it did in the final there. Came up a little bit short in the championship, but it's still been a great season for you though, hasn't it?
It's been fantastic, you know. At the end of the day, when you look at the guys that I'm racing against on the grid and the pedigree that they've got within this class, to come from a direct drive class and to do as well as we have is, for me, that's a win in itself. You know, I feel like a champion just doing that. To get four final wins out of 6, you know, I think that's very good going for someone in their first year in the class. It's down to a lot of hard work from me and my dad, and you know, you're up against great guys, so you can't ever take any of the challenges lightly. Like I said before the weekend started, you know, we were going to go into it with our minds open, just do as best we can, try and win races, which we did, and the points, you know, that however it goes, you know, we had a couple of dodgy heats throughout the year, so you know, that's what cost us the championship in the end, but we still have to look at it as a fantastic year. You know, first year in the class, to be on the podium, yeah, okay, we missed out on the title by a few points, but you know, we still put in a very, very good performance, in my opinion.
I'll second that, Lucas. Sadly, there is no 4th Super 1 championship in a row. Daniel Borton does clinch it from Lucas Orrick, with Henry Easthope still ending up 3rd, only just ahead of Matt Dittman, with rookie Joe Charlton up in 5th and James Mudd rounding out the top 6. After a great season, there's still 2 championships left to be decided, and they'll be right after the break. Don't go anywhere.